Good morning, all. Actually, yesterday I had uploaded this lesson, the new dress, but I don't know. There was some technical problems and there was crackling sound continuously, and that's why again I am uploading this video one more time. So, one more time, I'm going to explain the lesson's theme, style, characters, plot, and then we will talk about the actual lesson. The New Dress. This lesson is by Virginia Woolf. Actually, this is a short story which was written in 1924 while she was writing the novel Mrs. Dalloway, published in 1925. Critics have entertained the possibility that the story may originally have been a chapter of the novel because some of the same characters and events appear in those works. The story was published in the May 1927 issue of the monthly New York magazine, The Forum. In short, a deeply insecure and painfully self-conscious guest at a party is convinced that she is the target of mockery. Woolf later republished the new dress in the collection A Haunted House in 1944, 3 years after Virginia Woolf's death. It was republished in 1973 in the collection of Mrs. Dalloway's Party with other stories by Woolf that focus on the guests and events of the day leading up to the Clarissa Dalloway's party. Virginia Woolf, who is the writer of this story, she was born Adeline Virginia Stephen in London on January 25, 1882, the third of four children of Julia Duckworth and Sir Leslie Stephen, a noted historian and biographer. As a child, Woolf received no formal education but made use of her father's library and literary friendships to educate herself. After her mother's death in 1895, Woolf experienced a nervous breakdown, the first in a series of four debilitating emotional traumas. When her father died 9 years later, Woolf had her second mental breakdown. Upon her recovery, she moved with her sister Vanessa and her brothers Thoby and Adrian to the Bloomsbury district of London. Virginia Woolf, her siblings and their friends made up the famous Bloomsbury group, which included such notable figures as E.M. Forster's, Roger Fry, and Keene. As the group's reputation spread among the London art and literary circles, Woolf grew intellectually within her group of friends, which included Leonard Woolf, whom she married on August 10, 1912. Woolf wrote The New Dress in 1924 while she was revising her fourth novel, Mrs. Dalloway. The story was not published until 1927 when it appeared in the Forum, a monthly New York magazine, read primarily by the intelligentsia. This was the first story in a group that was collected by Stella in 1973 and published as Mrs. Dalloway's Party. Each of these stories explores the perspective of a different guest as the Dalloway's Party. Woolf continued to write novels and in 1929 completed A Room of One's Own, which has been held as a feminist manifesto of the 20th century. In 1941, Woolf published her last novel, Between the Acts. She suffered another emotional breakdown in February 1941. But at this time, she did not recover. Woolf committed suicide by drowning on March 28, 1941. Students, if we talk about the background of the story, so the Wolf's The New Dress, a short story. Here we get the main character, Mabel Waring. Here in this story, Mabel Waring arrives at Clarissa Dalloway's party and is instantly consumed by feelings of inadequacy and inferiority. These negative feelings are set off by concern that her new dress is not appropriate for the occasion. Immediately after greeting her hostess, she goes straight to the mirror at the far of the room to look at herself and is filled with misery at the convictions that it was not right. She imagines the other guests exclaiming to themselves over, "What a fright she looks!" She begins to berate herself for trying to appear original. Since her dress in the latest fashion was out of her financial reach, she had a yellow, in this picture you can see, she had a yellow silk dress made from an outdated pattern. Her condemnation verged on self-torture as she tortured herself with obsessive thoughts of her foolishness, which deserved to be chastised. She thinks of the new dress as a horror, idiotically old-fashioned. When the stylishly dressed Rose Shaw tells her the dress is perfectly charming, Mabel is sure she is being mocked by the people, especially by the Rose Shaw, who is the richest person. She tries to think of some way to annul this pain, to make this agony endurable. The extremes of language and the obvious torment Mabel is experiencing may be intended to give the reader some indication that perhaps she is not entirely mentally or emotionally stable. It may also, however, be intended to underscore the discomfort that shy or socially unskilled individuals can experience in social setting. Mabel tries to envision the partygoers as flies trying to crawl over the edge of the circle, all looking alike and with the same goals, but she cannot make herself see the others in this light. She tells another guest that she feels like some dowdy means unstylish, unfashionable, as well as decrepit means the person who is neglected by the society, horribly dingy old fly, and then is mortified to realize that he must have interpreted her as a ploy for the insincere compliment that he harshly delivers. Mabel remembers how happy and comfortable she felt as the dressmakers, as Miss Milan, who stitched her dress, pinned her hem, asked her about the lane, and tended her pet canary. Pet canary means her pet bird. Canary is a one type of the bird which is of yellow color. So she was tended her pet canary. This image vanishes quickly. However, as she is catapulted back to the present, suffering, tortures, woken wide, awake to reality. She berates herself for caring what other thinks of her, but drift into thoughts about her own odious, weak character. Mabel thinks about her unremarkable family and upbringing, her dreams of romance in faraway lands, and the reality of her marriage to a man with a safe, permanent underling's job. She thinks about isolated moments in her life characterized as delicious and divine. When she feels happy and fulfilled, connected with all of the earth and everything in it, on the crest of a wave. She wonders if those moments will come to her less and less often, and determines to pursue personal transformation through some wonderful, helpful, astonishing book or an inspirational public speaker. She gets up to leave the party, assuring Mrs. Dalloway that she has enjoyed herself. So, this was the plot, actually, this was the background of the story. In short, I have told to you. Now, if we talk about the characters of the story, so here we get some main characters. First is the Mabel Waring. Mabel Waring is a middle-aged woman who reflects constantly and some might say obsessively about her alienation from the members of the elevated level of the society she wants to join. When she is invited to a party given by a wealthy and social prominent Clarissa Dalloway, another character of the story, she is overwhelmed with worry about her inability to dress fashionably because of the cost, because she was a poor lady and that's why she was worried now that what to wear, because the party was given by the wealthiest person from the society, and she has an old fashioned dress made from a book of dress patterns that had belonged to her mother, then spent much of her time at the party fretting over its inappropriateness and drawing the attention of other partygoers to it. So this whole story just revolve around this character. Whole story it is written in a stream of consciousness. What is stream of consciousness? Afterwards I am going to tell you. She also engages in conversation that provide further evidence of her dissociation from this strata of society. Okay, so this was the Mabel Waring. Now next character if we talk about, so Mrs. Barnett. Mrs. Barnett actually is a maid servant in the Dalloway's household. Her behavior in greeting Mabel Waring and taking her coat seem unremarkable to the reader, but sets off great waves of insecurity in the party guessed about her appearance and social role. Now next, the Clarissa Dalloway, who is the hostess of the party that Mabel attends. Clarissa is affable and courteous to her guest, and her presence lingers, though the reader only hears her speak once in the story, to encourage Mabel not to leave the party early. So only once in the story she speaks. That time she encourages Mabel not to leave the party. Okay, there are some more character in the story. Rose Shaw. Rose Shaw is a guest at Clarissa Dalloway's party. Mabel Waring characterizes her as being dressed in the height of fashion, precisely like everybody else always. Rose compliments Mabel on her new dress, but Mabel is convinced that she is being mocked by the people, especially by the Rose Shaw. Then there is the Robert Haddon try to cheer up the Mabel, but in insincere way. According to the Mabel, actually he does not. Charles Burt, he is another guest in the party, and Mrs. Hopman, the one share her family story and not detached to the party. Okay, now okay, so in this picture, student, you can see that the girls, they are talking with each other. Actually they are not talking, but they are mocking actually to somebody. And this is the feeling of the Mabel Waring. Okay, so when she was there in the party, so that time she thought that the people are looking towards Mabel and they are mocking, they are talking about the Mabels because she is in old fashioned yellow silk dress, which is very old fashion according to her. So this is the theme of the story. Actually, it is a story which is written in a stream of consciousness technique. Now, what is mean by stream of consciousness? Stream of consciousness means a person's thought and conscious reactions to the events perceived as a continuous flow. Actually, it is a literary style in which a character thoughts, feelings and reactions are depicted in a continuous flow, uninterrupted by objective description or the conventional dialogue. So in this style we can see here the Virginia Woolf, who had used this style for writing this story. So Mabel always, she thinks about the events, she thinks about the reaction whatever happened to her, and there is a continuous flow of that events. Okay, and those events or those feelings are random. Sometimes she is present at a party and she thinks for a party people. Sometimes she goes back to her old days and she thinks for those old days. Again she comes back to her present days. So there is a mixed feelings you can see. So that is the stream of consciousness. There is a continuous flow of reaction, continuous flow of feelings. So the stream of consciousness technique, which is always used by Virginia Woolf, is very famous. Mrs. Dalloway, this novel also she has written with this style only. She also uses quite a few images which should be understood by the reader. The new dress and the woman consciousness of the fashions have to be considered. Literary device, she has used flashback. She uses the flashback, means in cinema or in movie also we can see this type of the flashback. Hero always, he goes in his flashback in his old days and he thinks for that, and again after some time again he comes to his present day. So here the same thing is happening when we read the story. So that time we are there at the party. So this is the scene actually where the Mabel, she is present at the party, but suddenly she goes back to her old days, old happy cherished days, and she remember those days, and after some time again she comes to the present day. So she uses the flashback to escape the reality, but these happy feelings are not only temporary. Student, if we talk about the themes for this story, so alienation, loneliness, is that is only the theme which we get here. Why alienation? Because Mabel wearing feelings of alienation surface when she attends a party given by whom? Clarissa Dalloway. First, the reader sees her insecurity when the Dalloway's servant, Mrs. Barnett, immediately recognizes Mabel's humble origins from the new dress that she has had made for the party. The servant's behavior affirms Mabel's belief that she is an outsider and does not belong to that society, because the party which is given by the wealthiest person from the society, and Mabel, she is just a middle class person who attained that party. So social interaction at the party further verify her estrangement. Although the other guests engage Mabel in conversation, an acute self-consciousness about her appearance and manners makes her unable to communicate on anything other than a superficial level. In this story, we get that Mabel, she is self-absorption and self-centered person, which is isolate her from the other party guest and make any communication impossible. Wrapped up in her own world, she never carefully considers what others say. Instead, Mabel assumes that everyone at the party somehow involves her. In the story, she imagines the guest making fun of her new dress. Actually, this does not happen. This is only her imagination. So she just imagines that, oh, these men of this woman all were thinking, what's Mabel wearing? What a fright she looks. What a hideous new dress. What Mabel does not realize is her own complicity in the alienation and the isolation that she feels. Closely connected to the theme of alienation in the story is desperation of the party guest, whose inauthentic lives make them incapable of real communication. According to Mabel, they are all flies in a socker trying to desperately to escape. But while everyone around her appears to be a butterfly or dragonfly, Mabel alone remains trapped, lamenting her banal life and the superficiality of the conversation which bored her unutterably. Mabel lingers in the socker amidst her own hypocrisy, unable to change her condition. Okay students, so today we are going to stop here. Today we have discussed about the plot of the story, The New Dress. We discuss about the author, we discuss about the character of the story, then I told you about the theme, which is isolation, loneliness, that is the theme of the story. Now in the next lecture we are going to start actual with the story. Thank you, have a nice day.